Hi guys, it's Nancy and I wanted to do a quick process video on this little safari card I made. It's actually pretty easy, so I'm going to get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to use is cardstock, and I like either Stampin' Up's Whisper White, Gina K cardstock, or the Nina Solar White. Any of those are pretty smooth paper and they make blending easy. And we're going to start off with some distress inks here, and we have Fossilized Amber, Wild Honey, Ripe Persimmon, and Gathered Twigs. So that's what we're going to use, and I have 4 of the Tim Holtz distressing tools here, and I like to start with the yellow first and just go right into the middle of the card, and I kind of start off the edge and rub off the extra because we don't want that circle on our paper. So just a light hand and kind of start in the center and fill that in. It doesn't take very much. And I normally do this over my distress mat because it's smoother, but for time's sake, we'll just pretend like I'm over that. The Wild Honey's next, and again, we're just going to go start off the edge and go around that. And just kind of go around the edge. And don't worry about if you see circles, just keep blending until that's out of the way there. And I'm leaving the bottom portion white. And then the Ripe Persimmon, I'm just going to kind of do the edges. So kind of make it look like the sun is setting. A little crease there. Go back with the Wild Honey and just kind of blend everything together there. All right. Now what I have here is just a heavier piece of cardstock. Ooh, smacked the camera there. Sorry about that, guys. And this is just a heavier piece of cardstock, and as you can see, I've used it several times. And this is where I'm going to go in with the Gathered Twigs. And I'm going to hold that right to the edge of where the white is there. And it's just a torn piece of paper, nothing special about it. And just kind of blend that in. You can even move it up a little bit and just do like a little bit of a ghosting effect. Real light. And it'll look like hills in the background. Alright, so that's our background. Pretty easy, right? Alright, now I'm going to get my Versafine Black Onyx ink out. I love this ink because it's super black. Now, it is a pigment ink, so it does stay wet longer, so you do have to be careful when you're inking with this ink, because if you touch your project, you will smear it. But I like it because it is a really deep, dark black. And the stamps that I'm using today are from Darkroom Door. They are a red rubber cling stamp. They do come as one giant sheet, and then you have to cut them apart. Now, they are already cling mounted, but they did come as one sheet. Now, I just had to get my shears out and cut around and cut the rubber off of there. But it's a pretty nice set. It has these nice African safari trees, and then it has the silhouettes of the animals here. So you have the gazelle and the giraffes and the elephants and so on. Then you also have the birds up here. And I believe I got this from Simon Says Stamp online. But it's called Darkroom Door Rubber Stamps, African Trees. And I'm going to start with one of the larger trees here. And you want to try to trim off as much of that excess rubber as you can around the stamp, because you don't want that halo on there. And just kind of eyeball it where I would think the center is going to be here. Next thing I'm going to do are the set of the birds. And you can cut these birds up and just do a couple. I'm just going to do all of them at once. And you can see already, see where my ink has gotten the top. So I should probably cut that rubber there. But for today's sake, I'm just going to stamp it down quick. And I'm going to kind of put it all the way to the top. So it looks like they're coming in and out of the scene there. And we're going to do the elephant. This is a solid image, so you want to make sure that the first time you use these stamps, you stamp it off somewhere to make sure that you get full coverage. See, I missed a spot, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'll fix that later. And then I have the two giraffes. Let me do the bigger one first. We have the mommy giraffe. I'm going to do her down a little lower so she looks closer to us. And then the little baby giraffe. And I'm going to move him up a little higher on the paper. All right, so for the elephant there, where I missed it, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can grab a little stubby, like a paintbrush or a pencil eraser or a blending tool, which I'm looking for and I can't find right now. But you can grab one of those, dab it into the ink, and then fix that. Actually, here we go. I have a little stylus here. And then we know when it dries, it's going to match the ink, and then we just rub that off. That's just a stylus for, you know, your laptops and things like that. That's all that is, little rubber edge. And that'll dry, it'll clear up. The other thing you can do is you can grab a marker, like a black Memento marker, whatever, and fill it in that way. All right, so all of our stamping's done. And again, this ink is still wet, so I don't want to touch it because it will smear. So what I would normally do at this point is set that off to dry and clean my stamps off with my chamois and put them away. And then the other one I have mounted. So I have a pre-made card base, and then I have some of the die cuts with a view or recollections. I don't know which brand it is. I did a video a couple weeks ago on this foiled cardstock, and this is a pretty orange color, but I couldn't see using orange in a Christmassy card, so I would just put that in the background and then frame that on there. So there you go, guys. A really easy way to make a cute little safari card, and you can use it for a birthday, you can use it for sympathy, so many things you could use it for. Maybe you can use it for the birth of a child. I mean, there's so many different things that you could use this cute set for. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up and keep on stamping.